I'm Beverly Welch here at the Arbor Gate in Tomball, Texas. We're here today with Ann Wheeler of Loghouse Herbs. Now, last time you were here, we did a great container of herbs.
We did.
Our herbs have done fabulous. They're growing, but they've grown a little too much. We want to keep them in that same pot. Is there something we can do?
Absolutely. With any herb that you would have, or in fact, any kind of plant at all, you can manage that by doing what we call root pruning.
Great, perfect. So, as you said, obviously this is not a culinary herb, but we want to keep this plant in this size pot.
But the first thing we do is just wrestle this plant out of the pot that it's in.
Okay.
And you can see that these roots have already started emerging from the top of the soil, which tells you, uh-oh, it's crowded.
Yes, they have.
So let's go to work. And we'll just set this right here and take a very sturdy knife.
Okay.
This one's serrated now.
Okay.
And we're going to just whack away at the roots of this root ball.
You're right.
So
that does look quite radical.
You know, we struggle about making healthy roots, having healthy roots in all of our plants, and so this looks like it just shouldn't be done. But it's perfectly fine, and all of us do it all the time when we want to keep things in our beautiful pots, and yet they keep growing. So once you've done that, you can take this little fork, get a little bit more of that soil, and you find that as you go, you reveal yet more roots, which is a good thing.
So why are we doing this step?
We're doing this to get some of the old soil out. We're going to replace that with nice new soil, and also to give some of those roots that we're seeing a chance to grow some more.
So loosen them up and give them a little breathing room.
Yeah, and you can even take a look at the bottom and see where maybe
it is jammed, isn't it?
It's jammed in there, and we can do some very judicious pruning of the roots at the bottom of the plant also. If you wanted to, you could use this same tool.
So when we do that and loosen these roots and prune them, we actually are signaling this plant to grow, right?
That's right, and funnily enough, we're at the time of the year, this is still dormant.
Right.
But very soon it's going to begin putting on leaves, and it will just go to town, having some healthy new roots coming along.
So this could be done any time of year, but preferably when your plant is dormant.
Yeah, and preferably when it's cool like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back into our container?
We're going to go back in the same container that he was in before.
All right.
We're going to take a look and make sure he's not too deep in there, or too shallow, really.
All right.
Put a little soil around. And I like to add a little Arbor Gate blend as I go.
Always. And so we're using a very well-drained organic soil mix here.
Yes, potting mix. Don't go out in the back garden and dig up some of your garden, because it will have too many disease mechanisms in it.
Okay, time for a little food.
Yep.
And that's so important, especially in a container-grown plant.
Yes, because the environment, being a closed environment, is just perfect for growing more bacteria and so forth.
Okay. So now we've got this guy set in place. We've got him nice and straight.
Yep, and this was an opportunity to straighten that up. If you recall, it was leaning a bit.
It was leaning a bit.
And so you can set it wherever you want it.
Now we have pruned the roots. So should we not prune a little bit of this upper growth?
It's a great time to do that, isn't it, Beverly? Right before it starts. Now I like to take the crossing stems out, cut as close as possible. If there are any others that seem to be crossing, this one is pretty good. Right here, this plant, by the way, is an old-fashioned plant called Rose of Sharon, or Althea. They're beautiful in a sunny garden. Wonderful flowers all during the hot months.
Perfect.
And now it's just have a little bit more of a tidy look and perhaps a cleaner look to get started.
Is there anything else we need to do?
Last but not least by a long shot is to water it in.
Okay.
And this is something that you need to do and watch it carefully, because watering it may reveal, as it sinks in, it may reveal some places where you'd want to add just a bit more soil.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Because there may be air spaces down in there which we don't want.
Brilliant.
The roots don't like air.
this has been so quick and easy. If I've got a plant I want to keep in the same size container, it's a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Can't
so
fail.
much, Ann. We really appreciate
My
the tip.
pleasure. My pleasure.